What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So this is where we at. And yes, the doubling down on the raids that are about to happen in Chicago is getting very serious out here. Now, my question here is why aren't our American officials, our elected officials, actually choosing the natural born citizens over these illegals? Hold on.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
You know, protection from foreign and domestic. That's what it says. But listen, look, we're about to dive off into this. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Live for us in Chicago. Garrett.
Yeah, Harris, those proposed changes would have allowed Chicago police to work with ICE only in cases involving a violent criminal, which is the kind of people state and local officials claim they don't want to be here. Instead, progressives on the city council have spent the past week preparing to fight this expected ICE operation by canvassing Latino neighborhoods to pass out these flyers, telling folks to not open their doors and to remain silent if ICE agents show up looking for any convicted criminals.
Talking to people, the fear is palpable. The fear is vocalized by our residents. People in the streets are saying that they're scared that ICE agents will show up at their doorsteps, at their workplaces, at their places of worship, or places of going to school. They're scared of that. That is a problem.
Governor J.B. Pritzker could push for changes in the state sanctuary policies to allow Illinois police to cooperate in some limited way, but he hasn't given any indication that that is something he is even considering, despite repeatedly saying criminal illegal migrants should be arrested and removed.
If there are violent criminals who have been convicted of violent crimes, who are undocumented, they are supposed to be deported. That is the law of the United States and has been for quite a long time.
Okay, now hold on here. Hold on. Because, you know, this is not making any sense to me right now. Okay, so J.B. Pritzker is sitting around here saying that, you know, if they committed a crime, they're illegal, they're supposed to be deported. Now, hold on here. The problem is that if they're illegal, period, then they're illegal. Isn't that a crime as well? Now, I know, you know, I may be a little slow out here, you know, hey, but I'm just saying here, people, if they came over here, if people come over here illegally and don't go through the proper channels to get the proper documentation to be here, even a visa or anything like that, if they're over here without even out a visa, or the visa is expired, things like that, or they've been in front of a judge and the judge said, no, go back where you come from, things like that. Why are they trying so hard to uphold this situation to where they want to keep people who have broken our laws of the land, and they want to try to keep them here? Now, of course, the people that have done the most heinous crimes, yeah, we have to get them out immediately first. But the thing of this is that if people are over here illegal, period, isn't that a problem too?
I don't want them in my state. I don't want them in the country. If you're going to commit crimes and you're undocumented, you don't deserve to stay in this country.
The sad irony here is that by not helping to remove those folks, Democrats here say that the folks they are trying to protect, those law-abiding individuals who are here illegally, by not cooperating with ICE, more of those very individuals are inevitably going to get picked up by ICE while agents are trying to track down those who are the most dangerous. One example, Harris, during an ICE operation in Chicago back in 2018, agents arrested 156 migrants. Of those, only 74 had criminal convictions. The other half were folks who just got caught up and were collateral arrest. Tom Home and others are warning we're almost certainly going to see a lot more of that because of these sanctuary policies. Harris?
And just so I'm clear, I mean, if they came here illegally, they already committed a crime. They broke our laws of sovereignty.
Right. Hold on.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Right. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's wrong. Maybe we're all wrong about this, illegal situation. Maybe our laws are wrong for saying that if you come over here without the proper documentation through the proper channels, through the port of entry, then maybe we're wrong as American citizens for thinking that you're supposed to obey our laws out here. Maybe we're wrong. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Maybe we are wrong as American citizens. Maybe we are heartless. Maybe we should just open the doors and just let everybody in. Even though I can't just go to any other country on the planet and they just open their doors and let me in that motherfucker. What are we talking about here?
So there's 156. Yes, 74 had committed crimes either in their former countries or in this one.
Right.
But the balance of that was, from what you're saying, and that's what I want to get straight, they were here illegally anyway.
Here illegally, not violent criminals, though. And that's what the administration is focusing on in this initial set of operations.
All right. That's helpful. Garrett, thank you. Gianno Caldwell, Fox News political analyst. Gianno, look, I made a fine point of this because it matters. The last administration was trying to legalize coming across our border in many illegal ways, whether you...
Right. Through the CVP program, things like that, where they were flying them in. At first, they was allowing them just to cross the border, period. Then they came up with the underhanded program, the CBP program, and things like that. And then they started giving them kind of a legal, unlegal way of getting over here. And they were flying them in. This is wild right here. Have long memories out here, people. This is crazy.
Yeah, you crawled in, you went around the security checkpoints. They just wanted, okay, well, if you got here, you're safe. That's not how it works. That's not sovereignty. That's an open door.
Right.
So picking up these people along with the violent criminals, what would you rather not do? Just not pick up anybody? That's what they wanted.
Exactly right.
Today is different.
Exactly
Trump's in
right.
office.
100%. And Governor J.B. Pritzker is speaking out of both sides of his mouth, saying he doesn't want violent criminals there. But yet people, as you mentioned, they broke the law and they came over here. It's the exact same thing. You committed a crime by entering the United States of America. And it is...
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Hold on.
Bitch, you're a Dorito. You was never chose. You're a Dorito, bitch. And you're mad that you're not chose. And you never will be chose.
And they never will be. Yes, they broke the law the moment they stepped across the Rio Grande and things like that, and snuck under the gates and trafficked and all this type of stuff. The cartels running wild, things like that, taking people's money and all types of crazy stuff at the border. It's wild out here. This is the Wild West in the 21st century, and this is highly disrespectful. And then they expect American citizens to sit around here and obey the laws, but they're allowing these illegals to come over here and disobey our laws every damn day. What it
cost us in blood and treasure. Blood by the 100,000 plus people who've overdosed on a drug. And we've seen that in recent years since Biden has taken office, and treasure with the billions of dollars of resources that are being usurped from the people of Illinois and the people of the city of Chicago, New York, and all across the country. It must come to an end. And thank God this day has come with Donald Trump in office to get the country back on its feet.
Well, look, you knew that there'd be pushback. There has been from day one with that immediate lawsuit slew against DOJ, the Department of Government Efficiency. Now there's more legal action. Democratic attorneys general are suing across the country. They're suing President Trump over his birthright citizenship executive order. Here's a map showing the lawsuit spread across 22 states. Constitutional law professor Jonathan Turley says,
damn. Okay, so yeah. It's going hard out here. I see the South is not going for any of that. Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida. Yeah, I see the South, the Arkansas, Tennessee, Kentucky's in there. Okay, certain states that are not going for it, the blank states, you know what I'm saying? Montana's in there somewhere, with Wyoming. Ohio up there, you can see Ohio right here. If you see my mouse, things like that. Yeah, it's wild out here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a few states. Let's keep going. Okay.
he believes this issue could make it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. Watch.
The real value of the executive order is not that it has binding legal effect on anything other than federal agencies, but that it could trigger a long-awaited court fight to bring clarity to this issue. It could ultimately go in front of the Supreme Court.
Your reaction?
Well, I think he has a point there, and I would never challenge the professor. I think he's excellent in his legal commentary. So, yeah, there would be a court fight in the Supreme Court. But the facts of the matter are we should be focusing on Americans first, people who've built a life here, not people who decided they were pregnant and they came across just so they can have a child within the United States and get those particular protections. That's usurping, again, resources from Americans. And it's an issue we've been dealing with for decades. That's why it is imperative that Congress comes up with an immigration plan that's going to take care of all of these issues, because we've been talking about it for decades. Things need to come to a change because we have to protect Americans first.
Well, look, you and I were at events in Washington for the inauguration, one in particular where Tim Scott and Byron Donalds from Florida, Congressman and Senator Tim Scott. There is this focus on being able to do those big bipartisan things. Just real quickly, what was your take on lawmakers you talked with?
Well, people are excited. There's a lot of enthusiasm and energy around the new administration. And I got to be honest with you, Harris, that isn't just Republicans and conservatives and people who voted for Trump. I've heard from people who voted for Kamala Harris, who voted for Joe Biden in the previous election, people who would never give Donald Trump the time of day. They're enthusiastic. They're excited. People feel it everywhere because they know we've been in a terrible state of affairs for the last 4 years. Our economic activity, inflation, the border, crime. These are issues that impact every American. And they're now thinking, wait, we got a guy who's now in office who means business. And that's why people are excited and they're looking forward to 4 years of Donald Trump, and folks who didn't vote for him, many are looking to give him a chance.
John Caldwell, thank you. Good to see you.
And it's just the truth out here, man. Listen, look, this is the thing here, people. People were tired. That's the reason why it was an overwhelming amount of people that voted for Trump in this past election. That shit means something. You got most of the country that actually made this possible. The country has spoken, regardless of whether people like it or not. The country has spoken, and it is what it is here. We have huge issues and problems for us as the taxpayer citizens that grew up in this country, that go to work every day, pay our taxes, that's in the system, have our social security numbers, that's got bank accounts, all these types of things that we're supposed to have, and this and that, woo-de-woo, all this type of stuff. And things like that. And, these people just come over here, get all these amenities for the past 4 years, these cards and stuff like that, leaving receipts in bodegas that you clearly see they got $13,000 on a fucking receipt, $3,000 and spending cash. And it's crazy out here. Seriously.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Y'all remember that when they hit the fan? Y'all remember that when that went viral? They left that receipt in the bodega up there in New York. And you saw all that cash that they was getting. These quote unquote illegals was getting all this money, staying in these high-rise hotels, and the Roosevelt Hotel up there in New York had been converted to a shelter, stuff like that. I did the report on one of my broadcasts from Cash Jordan. And he spoke upon the fact that they was actually committing crimes and then running into the hotel, and it was a sanctuary place to where even the New York police officers couldn't go in and arrest these people and shit. This is crazy out here. And we want to sit around here and play boo-boo the fool and try to keep playing and pandering to this situation when it's got to be dealt with. As a taxpayer citizen, at the end of the day, I need my money, and I need this shit to goddamn it go down the way it need to go down. We got to get these bats up out of here in Aurora, taking over apartment complexes, all this type of stuff. These people got to go.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
But it is what it is, though. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, Please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.